Hey, I'm Dorian, joined by my wife and celebrity menswear stylist, Ashley Weston.
Hey guys.
So Ash, who's this little booger right here?
Oh, this is our foster baby, Henry. He will not leave our side, so he's just chilling right here and he's going to gradually just fall asleep and you won't really see his head anymore.
You'll see some of the cone probably.
Yeah, you'll see the cone.
Why is he in the cone exactly?
He had cherry eye surgery, so surgery on his eyes, so we gotta do the cone so he doesn't paw at it.
Yep. So guys, as you notice, our backdrop seems to have changed a little bit. Well, we are basically in self-quarantine, so that means we are shooting from our home. This is the little library section. This is where I kind of get my work done and hang out now and kind of relax and look out the window. But overall, this is going to be kind of where we're going to be shooting in the next couple of probably weeks, maybe months. So get used to it. But today, we're talking about the things we absolutely cannot live without while we're self-quarantining. Ourselves. Why we're under lockdown, basically.
Yep.
These are the things that are really enhancing our time and making it fruitful, fun, enjoyable, just general good things to have.
So the first thing that we can't live without, and we highly suggest that you start getting in on, is loungewear. So we actually just did a video dedicated to loungewear and how to just kind of add some essential core pieces to your wardrobe, because again, we're all hanging out at home and it's gonna work not only just with you chilling at home,
now during this period,
eventually, once it's safe to walk out into the world.
And the next thing on the list is a bendy little mobile phone tripod and/or tripod head. Unfortunately, this is coming in handy a lot right now. I mean, obviously you can hold it with your hand, but when that gets a little old, when you're video chatting with friends, colleagues, family, etc., setting it down and just going hands-free is quite nice to have. And the beauty of it is that it's pretty darn cheap too.
Next up is this Zojirushi Thermos. So we've actually talked about this before.
Many times.
Yes, about picking this guy up. So it's nice when you can just make, say, coffee or tea or some kind of iced drink, doesn't matter if it's hot or cold.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You make it in the morning, you throw it in the thermos, it's going to stay the same temperature throughout the entire day. So it'll last you until you end up drinking the rest of this.
And next up, hopefully you already have anyways, but if you don't, this is a great addition to have. Obviously you've got some free time, and that is a pen or notebook. Yeah. Digital options are great, but now that the pace of everything is kind of slowed down, I'm finding going less digital is actually a little more better feeling, I guess. And especially if you're, feeling anxious or upset or depressed, there's nothing like getting it down in a journal format as well. So you can use it for a lot of that. I plan my day, I write out the things that are happening, I go through lists, all the above. Ash does the same thing. And next up on the list seems like a bit of a weird one, but hear me out for a sec. And that is a hip bag or a sling bag. I am, previous to this, it had its kind of like, or maybe it still is having its moment where everyone's walking around with slings. Unfortunately, I see the utility of it for sure, but I just can't get with that look. So I chose this one specifically, I'll link it in the description below, because it is so versatile. You can turn it into a sling if that's your thing, or a hip bag. Put it on your belt, through your belt loops if you'd like. And the reason why I brought this up is because, now we're having to carry quite a bit more stuff with us. Hand sanitizer, gloves, keys, obviously, masks. But since we're having to carry more when we go out now, I'm finding this incredibly valuable, and I'm considering probably using this as like kind of my everyday little carry bag when I don't have a backpack or something on me.
So now that we have a ton of time on our hands and we're not seeing anyone either, it is so important to lock down your skincare routine and have the products in place that are going to make you basically have the best skin of your life when you walk out those doors once this quarantine situation is done.
Yep, I've been testing this company called Cureology, not sponsored whatsoever, and I have to say, they have a trial period that's $5, and within a handful of weeks, I can say definitively my skin has gotten way better. They do a specific formula. You basically take pictures of your face and they assign you a dermatologist who will go over what you're trying to accomplish. If you're a little older like me, maybe you got some fine lines forming, maybe you can take care of that kind of stuff. I have to say, I was really skeptical. I was like, okay, for $5, I'll give it a whirl. And again, they are not sponsoring this video whatsoever. It is incredible.
Now, since we're all washing our hands like 20 times a day for 20 seconds or more, I'm sure you're experiencing very, very dry skin.
Chapped
Chapped
hands.
Yes. And so definitely want to recommend Cetaphil. This particular moisturizing cream is so hydrating. Because it's a cream, it's not like runny like a lotion. This one is fan-freaking-tastic. Again, I'll link this one in the description below. Definitely pick up some. It is, wow, life-changing.
And while you're wearing that hydrating mask with your hands all perfectly baby smooth and moisturized now, no better time than to pull out some board games. I've been hearing about this specific game for at least 5+ years and everyone has raved about it. I finally picked it up, and Ash, when we played it, it's a heck of a lot of fun. I was pleasantly surprised. Board games to me always felt like, it's kind of for kids.
I love board games. They're so fun, especially you have a glass of wine or a cocktail.
Well, anything with a cocktail in you're like, yeah, that's great. You just have a cocktail with it. But I have to say, this one is highly regarded in the board game world because, well, it's amazing. And there's a couple others we'll link to in the description below, but definitely now's the time to kind of explore alternative entertainment options, and this is definitely one of them. Very important during this time, I have noticed this, I think you have too, Ash, is that now that we're kind of just in our own little bubbles and our own little world here, things are kind of falling off a little bit, and my water consumption has gone down pretty significantly. Now my snacks and junk food consumption has gone up precipitously for sure, yes. But my water consumption, I've noticed, has definitely taken a hit. And so the ways we need to keep track of that are pretty simple. Obviously you want to have a general water bottle, yep. But Ash, there's a specific one that we use now, right?
I love this guy. It's by Thermos. It's fantastic because not only does it have like the measurements, so in ounces of how much you're drinking,
yep.
But it also, you can keep track with how many of these bottles you have. It's like a little,
clicks.
It's like a little clicker thing, yep. Up top here. So it'll tell you if you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these bottles, which is great because you cannot overlook drinking water during this time. It keeps your body healthy and hydrated.
And next up, as we talked about in the intro, obviously now is the time to watch a bunch of stuff that's been in your queue forever, or you've got, sitting around DVD or Blu-rays, or it's time to watch some web content. And there's no better thing to use than a Chromecast. There's 2 reasons why it's pretty darn good. You can basically use this with most services like Netflix. Amazon kind of had a tiff with Google and that kind of comes and goes. However, there is one way that you don't have to ever worry about something being like, oh, is it Chromecast compatible or not? And that is, you can take your laptop, you open up your Chrome browser, and then choose Cast. And that will take any web page, video, etc. you're playing through the browser and throw it to the TV with full sound and control and everything. And that is the killer feature of a Chromecast. So whether people say, oh, well, it doesn't work with Chromecast, yes, it will, because everything will work as long as it has a web component or a website through the Chromecast.
We're gonna assume that because you're spending so much time at home, you're probably cooking a lot more, or at least learning to cook more for yourself. Yep. And so you're gonna need things to store your items. And Dory and I, we avoid plastic at all costs.
We try.
Because, we try as much as possible just because it's so darn wasteful and terrible for the environment. So Dorian actually found these. These are fantastic, just like reusable Ziploc type bags.
They're silicone actually. And they're extra good for a couple different reasons. Number one, they're made out of silicone. And so what that means is that you can freeze them or basically boil them. You could put liquids in here and make soups in the microwave to boiling temperatures.
And you just feel really good about yourself because you're not being wasteful with the environment by using a ton of plastic.
So when you're in the kitchen cooking and you have leftovers, hold your head high and use your little silicone plastic bag replacements. We'll link our favorites in the description and the article in the description below just so you can check it out. All right guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying your quarantine, and this is one way you can add things to really enhance your time now that we're all kind of stuck at home. Don't sleep on this stuff. It will help, we promise. See you in the next one. Bye.